Jelly beans. I like jelly beans. Lurpa, good. Good question. Alright, top 2 reasons I am an atheist. Reason number 1. Chronologically, anyway, as far as my own mental function. Discovering through logical investigation that the God as described in the Abrahamic religious texts is a self-conflicted, logically impossible creature. You've heard this before. There's suffering in the world, but God's supposed to be perfectly benevolent and stuff like that. There's a really old one, I think, an argument that came around in Greece. I forget who said it. It was some early philosopher. It was like, if God is able to stop suffering, but chooses not to, then God is not good. If God is willing to stop suffering but unable, then he's not God. Also, that's one of those like, that's, you can argue, oh, wait, we don't know how God works in mysterious ways. That's like the blanket excuse. Another one that got me, this is, I think, a Renaissance era logical argument. Can God create a boulder so big and so heavy that he can't lift it? That's also self-defeating. It's like, he can either create a boulder so large that he can't lift it, but then he can't lift it, so he's not all-powerful, or he can't create a boulder large enough that he can't lift it, so he's not all-powerful. Self-defeating. That's reason number 1. Logically impossible creature. Reason number 2. I studied the history of my ancestors. Well, they're ancestors by adoption, but that's ancestors nonetheless. It was always an assumption of mine, because of how I was raised, and within Judaism, that the Hebrew people were, God's chosen. For whatever reason, he happened to give us these particular instructions. We were supposed to live a certain way and live in this certain region. Alright, fine. As I got older and was educated about different cultures, became immersed in a wider array of human experience, this myopic view of my own people was quite disturbing to me. So I did some research about exactly where did Judaism come from? Like, how old can we go back? What's the archaeological evidence that supports what's described in the Torah? And as you go farther and farther and farther back, and then you compare it with the development of other religious cultures in the world, you start to see a lot of parallels. Not in the details, but in the large things about the behaviors of people, the development of religion, the interaction of one culture with another. All started to make sense. The Hebrew people aren't special. Every culture thinks that they're special. They're just like everybody else. Judaism is similar to every other religion. There's no reason to put the God that belongs to Judaism on a pedestal above any other god that's implausible, like Quetzalcoatl or Zeus or whoever. The ancestor worship of the Chinese. It doesn't matter. It's all the same crap. All of it. All religion is the same crap. That's the conclusion I came So first it was the God concept that I had in my head was logically impossible. Then I did the research about the history of the religion of my family and found that it was the same shit that everybody else believed in. Details are different, but it's like the colors in a rainbow. It's all the same stuff. And that's why I'm an atheist, because it's all a bunch of man-made shit. And until there's evidence to convince me otherwise, I think the idea of an intelligent creator for the universe is just some BS.